All right, guys, we got a good show for you today. We have Israel Barnes. He played for Weber State. He just transferred to UT Permian Bajan. Thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. How bad is your bracket busted? Did you make one?
No, I didn't make one this year, but it'd be pretty terrible. A lot of upsets happen, so yeah, it'd be pretty bad.
Yeah. Mine was the first day Ohio State had in the Final Four. That was a rough one for me.
Yeah, yeah. How are you?
We're doing a bracket with like 100 guys in it, guests from the show.
Yeah.
The loser has to spend 24 hours in the IHOP. So
no, I'm cool on that. Okay.
I'm trying to I'm avoided last, but I'm still in the IHOP range. So we're a little nervous right now.
I'm gonna
do we're gonna do a few would you rathers. Would you rather fight a kangaroo or a badger?
Oof. Let me get the badger, man. It's shorter, and kangaroo's kind of scary, man. It was kind of big. Let me get the badger.
All right. Would you rather fight the Karate Kid or Spider-Man?
I like that one too. Which Karate Kid we talking? You talking Jaden Smith or talking back in the day?
We're talking Jaden.
Oh yeah, I'm fighting Jaden Smith, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Jaden Smith can get.
I'd fight the Karate Kid, man. Spider-Man with the webs got me nervous.
Yeah. Jaden Smith, man.
Would you rather give up your phone for the rest of your life, or you would have to wear Crocs if you don't for the rest of your
life? Wear Crocs out all the time?
Yeah, everywhere.
I'm gonna have to wear Crocs because I can't give up my phone, and I don't really care that much of what people think about like my dressing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to wear the Crocs then.
Yeah. Okay. Final would you rather? Would you rather relive the same day over and over again, or have 3 years taken off your life?
Oof. I'll take the 3 years. Reason being, because I'm gonna go to heaven, so I'm straight with that. Yeah. I don't want to relive the same day over and over again. So that's 3 years.
That would be terrible. I feel like I know they had the movie with Bill Murray, but I don't know how he did it, man.
They don't it, man. That's not it.
Yeah. All right. So getting in your basketball game, right? When did your first love for the game start? When we're like, yeah, this is my sport.
At a really young age, my father and my uncles, they played in Division I, and they put the ball in my hand at a really young age, probably about 5 and 6. We was in tournaments and playing. So at a really young age is when I fell in love with it.
Yeah. Did you play any other sports growing up as a kid, or was it just basketball?
Nah, it was just basketball, really. I ran track in middle school, just to do like the high jump, stuff like that, to stay in shape. And then I played football for about a week. Yeah. And then it wasn't for me, man, too physical. So I wasn't with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you talked about, you played basketball pretty much your whole childhood, You had a high school season, you averaged like 28 points a game. You were a 3-star recruit. How did that recruiting process go for you? And what made you decide at the time to go to Weber State?
Well, it was really fun. I went to a great program, Mocan Basketball Elite. They're great in the Nike League now. Grew up just playing there for about 4 or 5 years. The recruiting process, it was new for me and my parents. My dad had grew up in an era where coaches weren't able to text and email, call, stuff like that. Social media wasn't around. So it was all new to us. And we took multiple visits, a lot of visits to a lot of places. I had high major offers, mid-major, low major, all around. But we settled with Weber because it was at the time was the best fit for me. Coming in as a freshman, I would be able to start and learn. I knew people on there. So that was the reason why I had picked it for that point in time. And I wouldn't take anything back. And I appreciate the time that I had there. I really do.
Yeah. What do you think you learned the most from your time there?
I would say that I learned a lot of things. What I learned the most was just about myself and having to grow up quickly. You got guys in front of you who are seniors and juniors, and they're really fighting for their livelihood, and you have to do the same. Just staying competitive with a competitive spirit, nature, but also knowing that it's a business and things happen certain ways. Some things you couldn't foresee happening, so you just gotta just roll with the punches. Have faith, trust in God, and trust in the work that you put in too. So I say that.
Yeah. So, you haven't played at UT yet, but
Mm,
you played at Weaver for a couple of years. What was your favorite memory
yeah.
of college, like in a game?
Oh, I'd say I got two. The first one was my first game ever. We played San Diego, and surprisingly, we got blown out. But it was just good to be out there, and I got to start that game because one of our older guys was hurt,
Mm.
and I played a pretty good game, scored about 15. But I was just so excited to be out there, man, because I hadn't played in a long time. I had got hurt my senior year of high school,
Yeah.
and then the second one would be we went to a tournament in the Bahamas, and I hit a buzzer beater against Central Michigan to win the
Yeah,
game.
I watched that
So
game.
yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, you did? You saw it? Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
did.
that was that was a fun game. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fun game to be a part of.
Yeah, it was I always liked that gym they played in. It was like a high school gym down there, but
Yeah,
it was like such a cool thing because CBS did a really nice job with it. They always had the tropical.
yeah,
It was one of my favorite tournaments to watch.
yeah. It was a good vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a high school game.
Yeah. So what made you decide to, transfer schools?
Mhm. Uh, Kind of like I said earlier, things don't always work out the way you
Yeah.
want them to, or you foresee them to. You just gotta trust in God. So it was a situation where I couldn't really grow any further there. They wanted me to be a certain way, and I felt like I could do more for
Yeah.
myself and more for a team. So
Yeah.
I had to make them, and I'm glad I made my
Yeah.
decision. So
Yeah. So, when you you decided to leave and you went to Permian Basin, what made that the
mhm.
school that you were like, hey, this is the fit. This is where I want to spend my next couple years.
Yeah, well, in the transfer year, COVID had just happened, so there weren't any visits. I couldn't do what I usually would do was go and play like um, at schools, knowing these weren't official visits, but unofficial visits just to play to fill out so people could see that I could play at a bigger level.
Mhm.
So D1s reached out, D2s, JUCOs, everybody reached out, but Permian Basin, Coach Gillum and Coach Newman, they were the first to reach out and they were consistent. So they did it every day. And they let me know that I was a priority to them. And they wanted me to come in and put the ball in my hands and be a playmaker and do what I do. So I was really with it from jump, and they stayed consistent, and it was a perfect fit for me at the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like I heard it. I was talking to someone today, and they were like, sometimes the first school that reaches out to you, they're the ones that really, really want you, and they keep that.
Mhm.
They make you feel welcome, and that's like the environment everyone wants to be at. So
Yeah, I'd advise anyone just to do your research on schools, look up the coaches, playing style, anything like that, to see how it could benefit you and how you can grow as a young man.
yeah,
That's basically what I did, and it was a good situation for me to just show my talents and be able to grow. So it was good.
yeah. So how's this? You alluded to with COVID. How's the transition of transferring schools?
Ooh, it was kind of difficult for me because my all my visits were over Zoom, just like this. I
Yeah,
wasn't able to really go to any schools, and like I said, be able to play, be able to see people, be able to showcase what I had and everything like that. So it was all just trusting in God, really, and trusting in my team, my family, my mother, my father, doing our research, doing everything we could to understand what these schools were and how I could benefit and they could benefit from having me. So
yeah,
that's basically how the COVID process went.
yeah. So right now, what are you like working on, and what's like the next big goal for you? You feel like?
Ooh, basketball wise, I'm continuously working just on my craft every day, doing what I can to eventually play professionally. So I'm doing that endlessly. And then aside from basketball, I'm a writer, and I do that um, consistently too, and just as much as I play ball. And eventually, I want to get into writing just films, plays, screenplays, things of that nature. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the future.
Yeah, I think that's awesome doing that. I mean,
Appreciate
I
it.
love that. Like, that's why I want to do like broadcasting. I mean, that's
Yeah,
my thing. I mean, I
yeah,
started this like a month ago. We got a bunch of people watched it. You just giving people a voice.
yeah,
I feel like I think like for you as a like writer, you're like expressing yourself, and people can read
yeah.
that. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I appreciate this platform, and I've seen the work that you put in just with this, and it's something I can appreciate you being a creative and doing all that you do. So it's good to see, man, and I hope you keep going with it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So,
Yeah.
who was like your biggest role model? Did you have anyone you like kind of looked up to, like current or former players, and you're like, this is the guy I want to model my game after?
Uh, all went well. I'm gonna say my dad, of course.
Yeah,
Todd Barnes played at UTSA.
yeah,
My uncle played at Iowa. Them two, biggest role models. But more recently, I don't know if anybody knows Alec Burke. He's
yeah,
from Kansas City, and that was the first NBA player I got to ever like play with or scrimmage with just through MoCan, because he was one of the first to come out of MoCan.
yeah.
So he's someone that I really like his game, but I model my game after dogs, man. Dudes who play with passion, Jordan, Kobe, players like that. And then I really love James Harden nowadays too.
Yeah.
So
All right, this is the question I got to ask now. Who would you have in a one-on-one game, your dad or your uncle?
oh, uh, that's a good question. I'm picking Pops, man. Pops is knockdown shooter, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have to have Pops. But Unc, he can score that ball too. Val Barnes can score that ball. So look both of them up, Todd Barnes and Val Barnes.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. I used to play AAU. I got injured, that's why I had to stop. But we go to rec, and there's like
Yeah,
these three guys that were Division I players that played with us. But then their dads would come
yeah,
in, and they played Division I, like smaller schools, and everyone would sleep on them. We'd always be like, whenever the
yeah,
new kids came in the gym, they would sleep on them. Like, oh, these are like 40-year-old guys, and then they drill like threes in their face, and they're like, yeah, these guys can play.
yeah. Ball never leaves you, man. If you a
No.
hooper, you gonna hoop till you die. So
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Final question. It's always the hardest. How do you want people to remember yourself when your basketball career is over, or even now you talk about your writing career?
Mhm. How I want to be remembered. I just want to be remembered as somebody who served God, man. That's it. That's the biggest reason I do anything. That's why I decided to come on this platform, just to let people know that I'm here to serve God, and I'm doing all this to the glory and honor of Him. Without Him, I wouldn't have any of these blessings, or be able to write, be able to play,
Yeah.
and be able to travel the United States like I've been able to so far. So
Yeah.
when it's all said and done, I hope people look at me and see that I served God well, and I did everything to the glory and honor Him. So
Yeah.
that's what I'd say. Yeah,
Well, I really appreciate you coming on, even just saying that, because I lead youth groups here. I do lead FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Young Lions,
yeah,
big leader in that.
yeah,
Help out the community, and religion and
for
faith is
sure.
a very big part of this. And just coming on and being able to
Sure.
say that is really important. I appreciate you for coming on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great to hear, man. I appreciate you having me, Luke, man.
Yeah.
Many success and blessings, all that to you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you. Well, guys, this
All right.
is Israel Barnes. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yep.